Everyone, and thank you for attending the 2025 RiverBend Golf Community Annual General Meeting. Before I say a few words, I would like to just look at the agenda today. Really appreciate you all coming and taking the time either online or in person, which is great to see. So today's agenda is going to be as follows. We're going to have our Community Grounds Superintendent Jerry Hackers speak to our ground services. Then we're going to move on to Sean Greco, our food and beverage manager. After Sean, we're going to have our Director of General Construction New Homes, Jared Schneider. Thanks, Jared, coming today to speak about the RiverBend development. And then we're going to have our chair from Owners Council, Brian Morris. I will speak to the financial position in regards to our 2025 financial review, our 2026 budget, and also our 2026 fee structure. There will also be a question and answer period following today's agenda. These questions can either be asked in person. We have a podium right up front here, so please head to the podium and please give your name for the record. And you'll also have the ability for those online today to ask your question via the online chat. So please state your name or on the online chat and state your question. And then we will alternate between questions live and questions online. Please also know that there will be a recording of this meeting available on the website shortly under the Community Life section. So before I pass the podium on to our team, I should first of all introduce myself. My name is Simon Bevan. I'm the general manager here. This is my 16th year at RiverBend, and it's definitely a pleasure to be here with you tonight. It's a very exciting time in the community. This is our 25th year in the community. It's great to see how much activity is happening both in and outside the clubhouse in our community. And I think we sometimes lose sight of what we should be celebrating. First and foremost, we have this newly renovated building, thanks to Jared and his team and the renovation committee chair. Thank you, Sandra Note, for being here tonight. Did a wonderful job to expand business in this building. We see more activity, more events, more golf programming, and more day-to-day social activities, which is fantastic to see. And I think the major win for the renovation is also when we're touring, when myself and my team are touring prospect residents, people who are looking to move into our community. It is wonderful to see and hear the feedback they provide and the fact that they are so impressed with what we've done with this building. We also have the newly renovated Pro Shop, which we completed this past spring, again, led by our construction team. And again, if you are a golfer or not a golfer, we definitely encourage you to go visit our golf team. There are lots of items there, both golf wear and non-golf wear. So definitely nice to see the Pro Shop mirror our fantastic clubhouse. We're also seeing lots of activity in and around the area. And I know Jared will allude to the local London housing market, which has been challenging, I believe, the past 18 months. But it's great to see that we are a sought-after neighborhood. There are lots of resales taking place where people are actively looking to move into this community from both local and afar. We're also seeing some very high prices for some resales, which is also great to see, where we're seeing home values increasing. I've spoken to the clubhouse and how active it is, how bustling it is, and I know Sean's going to speak to some more options for dining over the winter months. As we all know, we've seen less and less people go down south for a number of valid reasons in the winter months. So we're going to try and take advantage of that situation and have this facility open for your use. We're also very proud of the fact that we have a magnificent golf course. And again, I know some of you in the room are not golf members, but please know that this golf course, due to its playability, due to its immaculate conditioning, is known throughout the province. So when we look at new residents moving this community and you look at your home values, the golf product we provide definitely helps that. We're also very proud of the fact that we continually get your feedback. We are never shy of getting feedback, mostly constructive in the community. And we started with our annual surveys about a dozen years ago, which have been very, very effective. And then the past 12 years, with the help of our SIFT and customer experience, surveys, and we've sent over 20 pulse surveys over the past 2 years speaking to all aspects of the community, be it home check services, be it fitness programming, be it dining, being a pro shop programming, or even our mulch applications. So thank you for taking that time. Thank you for providing that feedback, because it really does assist our teams to make efficient decisions moving forward. I also want to speak to our volunteers, and I put a big bold note here: volunteers, volunteers, volunteers. And I've been so impressed over my tenure at RiverBend, the amount of individuals who have put their hand up to assist, to help convene an event, to work on the social committee, to be part of the golf programming, to be part of the golf committee, the ladies golf committee, the men's golf committee, and last but not least, like your owners council. These individuals are not paid, although maybe they should be sometimes. But Brian Morris and his team have done an incredible job of providing your feedback, having like productive conversations with Sifton, trying to gauge the pulse of the community, and working so hard on your behalf. So my suggestion to you is if you have not put your hand up for a committee, please do. And if you can't, if you see those individuals, please continue to provide feedback, but please also say thank you. Thank you for providing your service, and thank you for moving our community forward. I also want to take this opportunity to speak to a couple of housekeeping items that we speak to, and it's to do with growth. Growth is a wonderful part of what we are at RiverBend. We are growing at an incremental rate. We're almost sold out. We have over 800 residents. I think we have 200 resident carts driving around, over 700 vehicles. But for these things, it creates challenges. And I think I want to speak just briefly. I am going to say briefly because I hear at 7:08 there's a little baseball game taking place. So and more importantly, my Montreal Canadiens are going to be having their first win of the season tonight against that Toronto team, I think I heard. But so I will be brief. But traffic calming, speeding, pedestrians in the community, we're getting larger. And we've been very fortunate, touch wood, to not have accidents, to not have issues, to not have any major collisions. And as much as we speak to our staff, our trades, those Amazon drivers who are always in a hurry, I think the onus is always on us. How fast we drive, speaking to our relatives. We will continue to do our part. We will speak to our teams to ensure that we are driving responsibly, and even pedestrians. Yes, I know 12 years ago, you were able to walk down the street for a cross, but now you can't. Please don't. Please don't. If there's a sidewalk, use it. It's for your safety, it's for the community's safety, and that stretch between the gatehouse and the clubhouse, 95% of our community, I believe, is retired. So I'm not quite sure where you're going in such a hurry. So please, please, please slow down, watch your speedometer for the safety of all. Last but not least, I just want to re-emphasize an email, like a letter that Richard Sifton sent out yesterday, in regards to this is not the evening that we're going to be speaking to the Landlord Tenant Board or the Residential Tenancies Acts. There have been 2 recent decisions made. One was dismissed, and now there's a contrary order in place. So I'm not a lawyer. I don't want to be a lawyer. And we will not be speaking to those items during this evening's presentation or during the question and answer period. So with that, I'd like to move on to, first and foremost, our Community Grounds Superintendent, Mr. Jerry Hackers, to talk about the grounds. Thank you.
Thank you, Simon. I'm going to get that a little closer, I think. There we go. Thank you, Simon. I'd like to begin this evening by highlighting a few key improvements that we've made in the community over the past year. General service request tickets. It was a significant improvement that we've made, was launched new, also known as the ticket system. This was introduced from resident survey feedback. So indicating that we were missing certain things or they were duplicated throughout the year. So when you talk to one of our gardeners, if they didn't bring that message back to us, we didn't get that message. So this is the way to get that message across to us, and then we can deal with it. So we can address the whatever this service that you'd like to have. So the purpose of the system is for residents or for us to improve how we track, prioritize, and those extra services in the community in a timely and organized fashion. It's important to note that this system is for extra services only and not intended for regular grounds maintenance inquiries. We have a special email set up for that. So it's rbgrounds@riverbendgolf.com for that. So far for this service, as far as we've implemented it, 546 service requests have been received. 524 have been completed, showing a strong follow through from our team. The system has received a 94% satisfaction rate from users. A large portion of these requests have been tree and shrub removal. A lot of your boxwoods have passed away because of the boxwood moth. So this does carry a service charge with that. When submitting a request, please kindly add as much detail as possible, as it greatly helps us streamline our scheduling and ensures efficient response. One other thing that we changed, number 2, was mulch installation improvements. So this year, based on community feedback as well, the decision was made to hire a contract service to handle mulch installation for all gardens. We believe this significantly improved efficiency and timeliness of the work. To give you a sense of the scale, we installed 9 transport loads of mulch, which equates to about 1,000 cubic yards, and completed this project in 18 days, which is substantially faster than previous years. And the survey on this indicated that 70% were satisfied with it. While we were pretty encouraged with that result, we recognize there definitely is room for improvement. And key areas that that we plan to address next season include ensuring complete edging is done before mulch is installed, weather permitting, if we can do that. Also, taking greater care around screen-in porches. I know there were some screen-in porches with the dust of the mulch. They got a little dirty, so we're going to definitely take some more care in that. And then with the consistent mulch depth, we want to make sure that's consistent throughout all gardens as well. And then we will be rotating the starting points of installation every year. We did the main loop. We'll just go to side streets this next time. And the third one was garden maintenance. At the beginning of the year, we faced some challenges in garden maintenance. We experienced the departure of several seasoned employees that went off to other careers in the early May. So they were here, left us. We also had a long-term medical leave and a mid-season resignation from another team member. These staff shortages combined with a largely new crew made it difficult to maintain our usual standards in some areas. Despite these setbacks, our team worked really hard to try to maintain the levels wherever possible. Mid-season, we were fortunate enough to hire 3 students from the horticulture program at Fanshawe. Their enthusiasm and training have helped significantly fill that gap that we had earlier in the year. And I know a lot of you know Rebecca, our horticulturalist. She earned her Red Seal designation in horticulture in November 5th, 2024. This is a national standard that recognizes a horticulturist's proven skills in the industry. And thanks to their contributions and efforts, our team, we feel that we're back on track now and that we can finish the season strong. And community growth. What a ride it's been. I've been here for 23 years. Career at RiverBend 23 years ago. Watching this community grow into what it's become, the finest in Ontario, in my opinion. It's truly been a rewarding experience working for all you folks. The completion of 3 homes in August and 3 more expected this fall. We're steadily approaching final build out. This year, we will also be undertaking final coat of pavement in 3 areas of the community. It's happening right now in Phase 8, Phase 8 Moornomer and Sandy Somerville Phase 5. And we're going to work in Edervasti Crescent later on this season. Looking ahead, Edervasti Lane will be completed in 2026 once final homes are built out. And I'm sure you'll all agree that this will be a welcome sight as we close the book on this remarkable chapter. What you can expect from our crew right now as the seasons change, the gardeners will be out there preparing your gardens for the winter, cutting back ornamental grasses and removing spent perennials. It'll just tidy up the gardens and promote healthy growth in the spring. And in the coming weeks, our lawn crew will complete our final mow of the season, as well as applying winter fertilizer. The final application helps nourish your lawn over the winter and encourages early green up in the spring. For added protection, we offer tree and shrub wrapping service to help your plants survive the winter better, and as well kind of keeps the deer off them. Sometimes there's quite a few deer out here, as you know. If you're interested in this service, please submit a request online, and we also will post this in Ben Bits later on this year, or later on in the next few weeks. And finally, the winter irrigation system will be winterized for the year. The process takes about 3 days to complete, and it'll be done at the end of October. For those of you new to the community, and a helpful reminder to everyone else, here's what you can expect during the winter months regarding snow and ice removal at RiverBend. We monitor weather conditions 24 hours a day throughout the winter season. For overnight snowfall, our crews begin starting early in the morning with the roadways and parking lots, and you'll hear me and Matt out there banging on the roads. Sorry about waking you up again. Once the roads are cleared, then we go into the driveways, and additionally, we've had an outside contract service to clear your front steps and a path to your front door. Snow removal process takes about 8 to 12 hours, sometimes longer. We've had some 14 and 18-hour days here, which is pretty intense sometimes. But during these extreme events, what we do, we'll email updates to keep you guys informed on what's happening as we know, as the weather changes too. But our top priority during these times are to keep the roads open for emergency vehicles. We also apply ice melt products to the driveways, and it's just to keep it safe. If you don't want ice melt, a lot of people don't want it. You can sign the waiver online. There's a form under the community tab, and then we'll just put a little note on your door that we won't put ice melt on your property. And Lisa wanted me to touch on a few items at the gatehouse. Again, as Simon mentioned, the activity up there, there's a lot more traffic. So it just keeps the gatehouse staff consistently engaged. And I'm sure you've noticed all the traffic up there. Incidents involving gate damage has been kept down to a minimum, although someone just hit it on the weekend, and that was the first time in a long time. So thank you for driving patiently when you enter the gate. And Lisa just is so appreciative of not having to fix that all the time. So thank you for that. Our home check services are in full swing now. So if you leave for an extended period of time and you want to hire us to do your home check service, just get a hold of Lisa, and she'll do a walkthrough with you to make sure all the details are wrapped up and the way you like it. Staffing at the gatehouse, it's been a little bit hit and miss up there this summer. We went through a few staff. It's going to be fluid like that with seasonal or with part-time staff. We have Cooper from the Pro Shop up there now, so that's a welcome addition for sure. The gatehouse will continue to provide essential services, including accepting deliveries on your behalf from all the Amazon folks, storage of your house keys if you want a backup set or for home check purposes. And they offer a friendly professional advice or assistance to residents and guests alike. And finally, I'd just like to thank you for your continued support throughout the year. Sharing your feedback with us is what we really need. And we will continue to improve our operations where we can throughout the season. Wishing you all the best for the upcoming season. Enjoy the winter. And thank you and have a good evening. And go Jays.
Thank you, Jerry. I was really enjoying your presentation until you started talking about snow, but I guess that is inevitable. But great job, Jerry, to you and your team for making proactive decisions and changes to your operations based upon resident feedback and demand. So well done. So next up, I would like to introduce our food and beverage manager, Sean Greco.
All right, thank you, Simon. And it was nice to see some charts in Jerry's presentation this year. I like my. Thank you, Simon. Thank you again to everyone in attendance tonight, both those here and others viewing through Zoom. To start, I'd like to review some of our goals and objectives that we set forth last winter in addressing some emerging challenges, assessing past performance metrics, and through incorporating resident feedback, we focus on the following key areas and identifying our goals and objectives for 2025. Taking care of our residents is our central focus. In identifying our 2025 goals, we prioritized initiatives that would strengthen the overall resident experience, improve our offerings, and foster a culture of continuous feedback. Taking care of our people reflects our commitment to our people by coaching, training, and engaging our team while celebrating their successes and gathering their feedback. And enhancing our business agility focuses on the flexibility and responsiveness across our operations to meet evolving market and customer demands. Taking care of our residents through our improved menu diversity, we had a 5-week menu rotation, which we continue all year round, regularly refreshing our menu with 25 to 30% of the items changing, and adding our popular weekly features 4 to 5 on a weekly basis. The following chart illustrates the popularity of our weekly features as they relate to other high-selling menu items, including these features on both our website and in our menus has been a valuable communication strategy and has greatly assisted in driving these volumes. As you can see, this equates to over 15% of all menu items ordered in our clubhouse were one of our weekly features. Throughout the year, we executed an extensive lineup of feature and theme nights designed to engage our residents, showcase culinary creativity, and create memorable experiences. These included seasonal and holiday celebrations, such as Valentine's dinner, Super Bowl features, fish fries, and various holiday buffets. We also offered cultural and specialty events, including Taste of the World, Cinco de Mayo party, Lobster Fest, Lasagna night, Taco bar, Pasta bar, and a recent rib and wing night. In addition, we held a number of interactive and entertainment-focused experiences, such as our popular chef's tables, trivia night, and murder mystery dinner, which further enhanced resident engagement. Here are just a sample of some of our event flyers from this past year. Your feedback matters to us. By consistently reviewing dining survey responses, we can refine our menu, service, and overall guest experience. This ongoing process allows us to make thoughtful improvements and ensure that every visit is enjoyable and memorable. All residents can access these ongoing surveys by simply clicking the link provided in the email chit you receive. We thank all those who have taken the time to complete these surveys. This illustration summarizes the responses from all of our dining surveys collected this year. Rankings range from extremely dissatisfied to extremely satisfied. 70.6 is our current overall satisfaction rate. This is a total of the response as either somewhat satisfied or extremely satisfied. It's been very encouraging to see that just under half of the completed surveys submitted selected extremely satisfied. As a point of reference, this slide includes the data from both this year and 2024. As you can see, we've experienced an improvement of 3.4% year over year with a significant increase in the extremely satisfied category. To improve our overall food quality and consistency, we implemented a comprehensive approach that focused on both our menu and our team. Standardized recipes ensure that every dish meets the same high standards, while staff training and menu revision presentations keep our team knowledgeable, skilled, and aligned with best practices. Additionally, our commitment to house-made items such as breads, sauces, and dressings enhances freshness, flavor, and the overall dining experience for our residents. Together, these initiatives support a consistent, high-quality offerings that reflects our dedication to excellence. Our 2025 focus was on engaging, developing, and retaining our team by implementing initiatives that not only support employee growth, but also drive measurable improvements in performance and satisfaction. We enhanced our staff training program to build skills and ensure consistency in service delivery while maintaining regular and transparent communication across all levels. Engaging service games and contests were used to foster teamwork, motivation, and friendly competition. And we actively celebrated successes to reinforce a culture of recognition. Additionally, our employee engagement surveys provided actionable feedback, allowing us to monitor progress, identify opportunities for improvement, and ensure that our workplace remains supportive, engaging, and aligned with the needs of our team. Enhancing our business agility. We aim to increase our business agility by quickly adapting menus, staffing, sourcing, and service models in response to resident demand, supply chain challenges, or evolving market trends. This included a regular review of suppliers to ensure quality and reliability, effective monitoring of labor demands, and ongoing assessment of workflows to identify and address potential inefficiencies. By staying aware of competitive market conditions and emerging trends, we positioned ourselves to respond proactively, maintain high service standards, and continue meeting the needs of the residents effectively. Our operations have been impacted by several key challenges that require strategic focus and proactive management. Tariffs, yeah, the T word, have increased direct costs for imported goods, created supply chain uncertainty, and raised expenses for a number of items such as packaging, selling supplies, and equipment. Labor costs have risen sharply with a 78% increase in minimum wage over the past 10 years, putting additional pressure on staffing budgets and scheduling. Large plated meal events presented operational complexities as we continue to balance efficiencies, consistency, and speed of service for these events. Additionally, rising inflation and direct costs contribute to customer price sensitivity, limiting flexibility in menu pricing. Addressing these challenges is critical to maintaining high service standards, operational efficiency, and resident satisfaction. In the coming months, as we look ahead in the coming months, we'd like to share a few important updates. We have our annual resident survey, which will be sent out in the coming month. A quick reminder to complete your survey, as your feedback is invaluable in helping us improve our services. Food and beverage hours update. With the upcoming closure of the golf course, food and beverage services will be closed on Mondays beginning November 17th. Holiday season events. Keep an eye out for details on our newly enhanced holiday events, including our Christmas brunch and breakfast with Santa. Winter operations. As Simon alluded to, we've had many discussions about possibly extending our dining options through the winter months. With less and less residents going down south, we felt now is the right time. So due to continued community requests, we're excited to announce that we'll be expanding clubhouse dining hours over the winter months. Effective January, clubhouse will also be open for indoor dining on Tuesday and Wednesdays from 4:30 to 8:30 p.m. in addition to our Thursday through Sunday hours of 12 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. These additional evenings will also allow us to add many more feature and special theme nights. Previously, only our Eats delivery service was available on those days. We hope these changes provide more opportunities over the cold winter months to connect with friends and neighbors while continuing to support our amazing community. In closing, we'd just like to extend our sincere gratitude for all the support, and we look forward to seeing you in the months ahead.
Thank you, Sean. Great job to you and your team doing these challenges, and well done. I'd like to next introduce the our newly promoted director of construction, general construction, Jared Snyder. So Jared was our lead hand in both our clubhouse renovation project and the Pro Shop project, and your help and assistance with both those projects was really appreciated, Jared. So thanks for joining us tonight.
Sweet. Thank you, Simon. Sorry. I think it might be a bit taller. Oh, sorry, it's down at Jerry's site. There we go. Good evening, everyone. Nice to see you tonight. So I'll try to keep it a bit shorter. I'm sure you want to go see the Jays game, and I won't ramble on too much. So, just want to start off with, it's nice being in the space. I don't get to come here too often and see the renovation and just how nice it has came together. Even I was looking out the window as Sean was talking and seeing deer running around. So it's a beautiful community all around. But just want to talk as well. We had a great year this year in the construction division. A lot of changes, and as I guess as Simon talked to as well, the Pro Shop was a great renovation that kind of aligned with updating the whole layout of the space as well as the cosmetic look of it to kind of align with the clubhouse. So I hope you've all been able to get in there and spend your money and buy some new clothes or some new clubs. There's a lot of good options. I just want to talk a bit about the London housing market. As most of you know, the last 2 years, some say it's been a bit of a recession. That might be a strong word, but it's kind of looking as such. There has been a push by the Ontario government over the last couple of years for housing, whether that's for sale product and condo product or rental. The rental market seems to be going fairly well with a lot of permits being applied throughout the city, and a lot of high rise and mid rise going up. The single detached housing market is not so great, as well as I guess the resale. RiverBend has kind of been sheltered a bit from that. I think the lure of the beautiful community it brings a lot of people in. But yeah, with that, it's still slower than normal times, and I think that's just to go with the uncertainty that's out there within the government and whatnot, and our friends down south. So speaking of RiverBend again, we have two sales this year in 2025. We do not have a lot of lots left, but still that's quite a bit lower. It's actually 50% lower than last year, where we had 4 closings. But we hope to be able to sell out the rest and the remaining 4. So with that coming to an end, as Jerry had mentioned, with the roads having their finish coats done over the next probably about, I'd say 10 months into the spring, maybe early summer. As well, we're finishing off the last few houses. So you've probably noticed the houses on Mo Norman and Ed University. They have sod going down, the bricks done. We do have 4 properties still for sale. One is fully completed and staged currently. So that's a very quick sale. If someone wanted to buy that one, that could be within a week or 2. We have 3 other homes that are available at a spec stage. So that's basically, it's taken to rough in and insulation. So you still have the opportunity that you can choose a lot of the selections, put your finishing touches on it, but you don't have that long lead time that a new build from scratch would take. So if you have any friends that don't live in the community and maybe want to move in and be closer, that's a great opportunity for them to come in and get a brand new house. So on behalf of the New Homes team as well, you probably see my guys' trucks not running around, but driving around nice and slowly under the speed limit safely, putting their blinkers on, their four ways. I just like to say thank you. Thank you for your patience. I know it gets dusty, it gets loud. But I can truly say on behalf of all of them, as well as myself, they love working here, coming to this community every day, as well as the trades, and saying hi to everybody. So if you see them out there, say hi. They're a friendly group. And thank you for having me.
Thank you, Jared. Appreciate you taking the time today. And as much as we all enjoy seeing you and your team at RiverBend, we also look forward to the day when we see the last construction truck leave. So I'm sure you won't be shy to come see us. So next up, I would like to introduce our Owners Council Chair, Mr. Brian Morris.
Hello, everybody. For those who don't know me, again, my name is Brian Morris. My wife and I have lived here for 11 years, and I've been involved with the Owners Council for about 8.5 years. So your first thought is, this guy is probably crazy. Well, to justify that and confirm that situation, this is our 20th anniversary this evening, and I decided to be here to talk to you. Having said that, welcome. I understand we have about 90 folks in the room and another 60 at home, which is great. Before I introduce the members of the Owners Council, I'd like to, first of all, thank Sue Holliday and Dan Bouchard, who's in the back row, for their service to our community. They have just completed their 3-year term on council, so thank you for your efforts. And now I'd like to introduce the council for the next 12 months. Let me just do this. There we go. I got it. Okay. Okay. I got 3-week ground school for this. First, let me introduce our newest member, Anita Bryant. Anita brings a distinguished resume to the group, and we are glad to have her on board. Anita, could you stand up and let everyone know who you are? Next, we have Roy Carter, who looks over our finances. Next is Doug Newell, who is taking on a different task now. He's now overseeing the infrastructure, checking the roads, curbs, etc. And also he has helped us greatly putting the new web page together, and it's up and running for your perusal. And last but not least, we have Pamela Whalen. You may know her from the company, the paper called Around the Bend. Pam Whalen. Well, I prepared a different presentation for tonight, but given the latest information we received late yesterday afternoon, and based on Mr. Stifton's letter, I decided not to use it. Instead, I present you the following. The past 2 years have been challenging and busy, to say the least. Though we received some negative comments questioning our integrity, we remain focused on doing what is right for the community. We are grateful to those of you who have taken the time to express your appreciation through your kind words. In hindsight, there's always room for improvement in any task, but we stand behind the decisions we made over the past 2 years. We work cautiously, diligently, and with integrity. Please remember, we are first and foremost your friends, your neighbors, we are RiverBenders, and then we're Owners Council members. We live here alongside of you. We enjoy the same benefits you do. Think about it. Why would we do anything to damage our way of life at RiverBend? We know that volunteering is a difficult job, and in some cases, it's a thankless one. We know that you know this as well as evidence in the lack of participation to run for the Owners Council. Out of 800 plus people, only one individual applied to be a member of council this year. We will, as a group, need a little time to process how to best move forward to meet our community needs into 2026. We would appreciate your patience. Further, we'll be scheduling an OC general meeting in the not too distant future. I do thank you for your support and enjoy the ball and hockey game later tonight. And we will take questions at the end as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Brian, and thank you to the entire council who's here today. We don't always agree in our meetings, but we have thoughtful, constructive, respectful discussions, which is always appreciated, thinking of the community at large. Next up is me. So now we're going to speak briefly to the 2025 financial review and 2026 outlook and budget, which has been reviewed with your owners council in more detail. And please feel free to ask me more questions another day if you want any further detail. So I'd like to start with our 2025 financial review. As you can see from the far left column, the 2025 budget was a balanced budget. And we're anticipating a shortfall in our community maintenance of just over $14,000, which is less than 1% of the overall expense line. From a clubhouse operations perspective, we are projecting and forecasting a surplus of $10,400, which is again less than 0.5% of your expenses. So overall, we are projecting a very slight shortfall of $3,900, again less than 0.1%. So we are in a good positive position, forecasted for the end of this year. As long as it doesn't snow, Jerry, we're going to be good. So what is in that community maintenance in regards to a projected shortfall of just over $14,000? First and foremost, wages and benefits always comprise the largest part of our expenses. If we recall, we had a very slow start to the season. In Q2 in May and June, not only did it impact our golf course operations, but it definitely impacted our seasonal teams. We actually delayed some of our seasonal staff due to the wet, cold conditions. And then we went right into summer, one of the hottest, most humid summers we've seen on record, which was great in so many ways, but it also challenged our teams. Many of them had to have shorter days due to health and safety concerns. The heat and humidity index required us to have some shorter days. And we also had 3 seasonal team members who were off work throughout the summer or various parts of the season due to sickness or health reasons. In our community roads maintenance, we are also projecting to finish over budget. As we alluded to earlier, we had quite a significant winter. So Q1, which is January, February, March, we saw more snow runs, more salt applications that are typical. So that definitely required us to have more snow operations. And just to keep in mind when we plan these budgets and plan these projections, we always balance out what our average of snowfall is the last 5 years. But unfortunately, this past year in Q1, it was quite excessive. So with the law of averages, we should see a softer Q4. So no snow till January, Jerry, right? Horticultural supplies. This consists mostly of our new mulch applications. So as much as it was very, very successful, and we got a lot of good feedback, which Jerry alluded to, where we'll be making some tweaks to that process. There's no question that the cost was higher than we first anticipated. So we have budgeted accordingly for 2026. Definitely, we are looking at that process to see how we can improve it on years to come. But we definitely want to react to how quick this process took this year. Anytime we can have a mulch application, which is less than 3 weeks, I think it was 18 days over the 3 months in 2024, we would deem that as successful. Utilities is our last item, which actually is going to project to finish under budget. So as much as we all enjoy our waterfall at the front, I am told that pumps and water do not get along very well. So we had some challenges with that pump this year where we were not able to fix it. The pump for that waterfall was back ordered, but be rest assured that it is being replaced, and you'll seeing it. It will probably should arrive just when we plan to take it out for the winter. So you'll see that back operational come next spring. From a clubhouse operations point of view, and again, I know Sean was very comprehensive in his update. Well, we've had a very good year in the clubhouse operations. Member dining is projected to finish 4.5% under budget, which is not what we anticipated. But it is still trending in the right direction since 2023, 24, 25. We are still seeing member dining increase, which is wonderful. We definitely had a softer start to the year due to the late start in May and June. There are also several numerous new restaurants opened up in the surrounding area, which definitely impacts our operations initially. It is only human nature to try these new places. I'm not quite sure how they all survive, and I actually saw another pizza place close down just outside the gates recently. So again, all of these areas impact our operations, and definitely the wedding business is, as much as we've seen it in this climate, like reduce. We are very happy to see that we have more weddings on the books for 2026. Other revenues, there's another line item where we're projected to finish ahead of budget. This comprises mostly of our fitness dues. We have a wonderful fitness team led by our fitness director, Kristen Van Berkel, who does a great job of getting everyone back in the gym. The fitness industry took a large hit during the pandemic. People stopped coming to the gym. They ordered their own home gyms. So we are now seeing gym users return to our pre-pandemic. And this is also the line item where our non-resident clubhouse dues are also realized in this account. Our utilities are projected to finish under budget as well. We definitely did not see the cost increase in utilities than what we anticipated. But definitely another win from the renovation was the transition to LED lights in this building. So we've definitely seen a significant reduction in consumption and some savings. So moving on to our 2026 budget, and this was a little more complicated budget than in prior years. So I'm going to preface this and like to state that our budget process starts about 10 weeks ago. So at the end of July, around August 1st, our team are not just projecting forecasting for the year end, but they're also projecting forecasting for the year ahead. So at that point, we did not have any decisions yet provided to us from the landlord and tenant board. So we proceeded as normal, and I'll speak to that, how it impacted your fees at the end of the slide. So as you can see from this slide, we have overall revenues in the clubhouse of 2.6 million, with expenses of just over 2.3 and G&A of 280. So we are forecasting a positive budget of 6,861. In the community ground side of things, we are looking at revenues of over $2.1 million, with expenses of just over 1.910723. and G&A of 286,608. So we are projecting a deficit situation for 2026 of 73,231. So an overall deficit we are projecting for 2026 of 66,371. So what impacts our 2026 budget process? First and foremost, snow. So we did have a 3% increase into our shoveling contract, which came due. As Sean alluded to, we are realizing another minimum wage increase as of October 1st, 2025. You'll see that the average minimum wage increase is slightly less in my slide than it was in Sean's. And again, what you have to keep in mind there is that the server minimum wage changed a lot more than the average minimum wage. if most of you recall, there used to be a server minimum wage, which was $3, I believe, $2.80 less than the actual minimum wage. And the Ontario government, in their wisdom to try and encourage the hospitality industry, actually made those two minimum wage equivalent. So that's why you're seeing those a little bit of discrepancy between the increase with Jerry's team, for instance, and Sean's food and beverage team. We will continue to utilize a third-party mulch application company, which Jerry's. We are projecting a 3% increase in utilities, and we are reviewing the option of some new gatehouse software. We're trying to get rid of all the trees that Lisa and her team are killing up there with our paper and pen for logging guests. So we're looking to have a more automated system to be more cost efficient and obviously more compliant with the environment these days. So more to come on that. Other factors for our 2026 financial review is the clubhouse. Again, we've already spoken to the minimum wage increase. We're also forecasting an increase in our banquets and catering, with 5 weddings already confirmed for 2026. This time last year, we only had 2, which is very positive due to the margins that we create on those events. We're also seeing budgeting quite a significant increase in our member dining. This is based upon our usage levels in 2025. So the added accessibility during the winter months, which is great to see. RB Eats will continue, and as much as that was a great initiative, that will transition to more of a pickup service. As much as we enjoy driving to your doors during the pandemic, we need you in the building. We need you here, and that will make this building more sustainable in the years ahead. So again, the banquets and catering will definitely have a positive impact on our food and beverage operations. Our fitness programming, we are continuing to expand that offering based upon your feedback. And last but not least, usage patterns. We have definitely seen usage increase in this building, which is wonderful to see. I think everyone loved the renovation from what I've heard, except for probably our housekeeping staff. The light colored floors and the light colored paint definitely challenges that team more than we anticipated. But you've seen them with machines out there, and again, it's well worth the added cost to keep this building clean. So this last slide indicates what was already sent out on your notice of increase, I think 2 weeks ago. And this shows a 2.1% increase in what all your fees are increasing in 2026. So the community fees for a single is $366.92. For a villa is $341.39. The difference there being in the requirements for landscaping. The clubhouse fee of $214.77 for both singles and villas. Then we have our clubhouse reserve funds, which again, we also reviewed with your owners council. We still have a third-party RIMCUS provider who provides us yearly updates on that reserve fund, and will be planned to do so again next year, do an on-site audit. So the clubhouse reserve fund of $31.97, the community reserve fund of $33.26, for a total of $646.92 for a single, and $621.39 for a villa. And again, that is all based upon a 2.1% increase that was sent out without prejudice, and different from what we had originally budgeted of 3.5%. So at this time, I'd like to move on to the questions and answer period. I've had one question which was sent in advance. I'm going to get that. And as a reminder, if you do have questions in person here, please just head to the mic, and once I call you, if I just state your name for the record, and we will alternate between any questions on the floor. We still have 13 minutes till first pitch, so we're doing quite well. Doing quite well, but only 10 minutes till Montreal's first goal. So we'll try and move this along. So I'm going to start with a question online. It's from Margaret Shorten. Question for Jerry Hackers. Why are charged, I'm simply saying, why are we charged for service requests when they are completed during regular hours and already paying for that service? So I'll let Jerry answer that question, but from my understanding, Ms. Shorten, again, if you want to have a service request in regards to something on your personal property, if you want to take out your tree, if you want a plant removed from your personal space, it is in discussions with us and also Owners Council that that shouldn't be a shared cost with your neighbor. That is your plant material. That is your request. It can be a small request. It could be an expansive request. But that is the homeowner's cost, and it should not be the burden of your desire. Shouldn't be like a shared cost with the entire community. I got it. That was it. I got it. Okay.
So the fees are, the regular pruning is included, weeding of gardens is included, irrigation, the amount of irrigation and regular maintenance of irrigation is included in your fees. Snow removal and lawn cutting is also included in your fees. Everything above that is, as Simon said, it's your landscape. You would be responsible to have an upgrade done or a renovation done. So that's why we have to charge extra for that. Because if we're at Brian's house, we won't be at someone else's house performing regular maintenance. So that's it.
Jerry. I was close, Jerry. I was pretty close. Okay, another question from online, from Michael Spear, another past chair of Owners Council. Thank you, Michael. What is the status of the condo unit to be built beside number 10? So yes, a question that comes up annually and a valid question. And for those of you who are not aware, we do have a development which is approved from the city to be built in between the clubhouse and the 10th hole. Nothing has been determined yet if and when this will move forward. For everyone's reference point, I think Michael said the condo unit. It also has an if and when it is built. It has not been decided if it's going to or rental. And it's going to be market driven. Again, not to put Jared on the spot here, but there is nothing definitive as of today. We have done some internal and external surveys to see what the demand is for the surrounding area. And if and when a decision is made and the timelines on that, you will be the first to know. Okay, that's good. Next question online. It says, Margaret again. Margaret Shorten. Question to Jared Schneider. Is the construction road going to be eliminated after the last house is built? Question, Margaret, and something we get all the time. No, the construction road will not be eliminated. It is a requirement by law to always have an emergency exit within the community. So you have to have two exits, one which is our regular exit and one which will continue to be there. The only change there is that will end up being gated and locked. And in case of a mass evacuation, hopefully not in the next 3.5 years before the Orange Man does something, but he's not going to invade. But if we have to evacuate the community, we will open that gate. So again, it's not going anywhere. It will remain. The gate will close. But excellent question, Ms. Shorten. Question. Oh.
Sorry, just adding to that, as the final house is completed and there's no construction being done on the homes, we will keep the gate locked if there's no trades needing access. So any trades coming in for renovations or whatnot on already finished off homes will have to go through the gatehouse. So
Thank you, Jared. I did have one question in advance from a resident, Mr. Newton. I would like to propose that we investigate the use of one or more landscape contractors to handle our community grounds needs. I believe we are too big for the current system of part-time students to cope with the needs of our community. There would be no need to hire all the equipment or part-time staff that we do now, who provide only a service for 4 or 5 months when they're not at school. With the use of contractors, we would at least get a full year's service. So great question, Mr. Newton, and I think that is something that we continually assess in regards to what we do in-house and what we contract out. A couple of good examples there where we've done the ROI on it in regards to our shoveling contract, in regards to our mulch application. We are continually assessing what is best for the community and what resources we have to accomplish these tasks. We are quite certain, looking at other condo developments, that if we outsource that in all those services, we're quite confident that the cost would be significantly higher and the service would diminish. Those visits from Jerry on your doorstep would no longer be. No, but great question, Mr. Newton, and please be rest assured that we are continually looking at different options to improve those services. A question from online I have from Mr. Bill Strong. Can Kyle please make pizza? Yes, I love pizza. Or maybe a pizza oven. Well, I know Kyle's in the kitchen, so we got to keep this quiet because he really wants a pizza oven. So, yes, we would love to have a pizza oven. I know Sean and I have had a lot of discussions about it. There are some communities and clubs that have a pizza oven. They are quite costly, and I think our challenges with that are to space, number one, for sure. Where would it be located to be safe and also not smoke out the entire patio? But yeah, if you ask Kyle, yeah, it is very high on his list, and also high on our list. If we can do it effectively in a location that works for the community, we would like nothing more to have that. Might not be good for my lunch diet because that would be a great add-on. But thank you for your question, Mr. Strong. Mr. Strong also has another question. Simon, are community and clubhouse reserves currently healthy? Well, that's a great question, Mr. Strong. And healthy, for those who know about reserve funds, can be qualified in a number of different ways, what healthy actually means. What I can tell you is that 14 years ago, when Owners Council initiated with Sifton to look at those reserve funds and to see if we have enough reserves accumulating. And at that point, we determined 14 years ago to hire a third-party reserve fund study. The first company being Brown and Beatty, who came in here 14 years ago, did a study and discovered that we were underfunded. So for the past 14 years, we have incrementally increased those funds. Those funds now total over $2 million, or they should be over $2 million by the end of the year. So we are definitely in a lot better position than we were 14 years ago. And those discussions continue with your Owners Council because for the long-term stability of this community, we realize how important they are, and we will continue with that third party to assess what is taking place, assess our current capital assets, and make sure that is budgeted accordingly. Any questions from the floor? I don't see anyone there. Yes. If you can just state your name for the record, Mr. McKay.
John McCaig. Jerry, I have a couple of questions for you, and then one general one for Simon, if I may. First of all, I'm not quite sure what ruler your gardeners are doing to measure 2-inch weeds in the garden, but we've got some that would be better measured in feet. Have they fallen behind this year?
So yeah, it's our goal every 2 weeks, 10 days to come through the gardens to pull weeds. The weather probably is some of the factor because when we get some nice weather, the weeds just flourish. And I know your place, there's definitely thistles and thistles around this property. I don't know why it is, but they are so rampant. And so we can pull the thistle and then within 10 days, it's this tall again, right? So we are maybe a little bit behind in the weeding, but yeah, we're trying to stay up on top of it for sure.
The other question I have, since you mentioned the thistles, it brings up weeds in the lawn itself. And this year is terrible for clover, it seems. Is there anything that we can do, or is this part of what you are doing? Or could something go out in Ben bits about how to handle this? Because it's just taking over my whole lawn.
For sure. We're super restricted on what we're allowed to apply to the property because it's a home lawn. There's a cosmetic pesticide ban that's been in place since '09. Whereas on the golf course, we can still spray traditional chemicals. And the stuff that we have, it's called Fiesta, chelated iron. So it's the same thing as you could purchase is called Weed Be Gone. It does not work on clover.
No.
And maybe Mr. Ford can change that to that pesticide ban, but I doubt that's going to happen. It's one of those things that's why we apply a late fall fertilizer so that we can encourage our healthier lawn. But we definitely will have clover, and it's a very unfortunate. I would love to spray this place with traditional chemicals. It would look fantastic. We were just limited to what we can spray.
And we're all very envious of the golf course. And Simon, a quick one for you.
Yes.
I understand that there is a man who has got solar panels on the roof and has gone off grid. Has this been considered for the clubhouse at all? Because the payback apparently is very good, and this would be an ideal place to have solar.
Yeah, that's a great question. That resident I've had lengthy discussions with. I actually toured his home a couple months ago for what he's initiated, and I also believe that gentleman and his wife are in discussions with the social committee for our speaker series to kind of enlighten. It is a heavy investment initially, but the payoff, there's no doubt, Ms. McKay, that is significant. We haven't looked at it, to tell you the truth, for the clubhouse, but it's definitely something I can look into. I think the initial cost would be significant, but again, it's not something that we've looked at this point. So. Okay, so it looks like the questions online are done too. So I want to first of all thank everyone here for coming today, first and foremost, and thank you everyone online for participating. I want to thank the speakers today, Sean, Jared, and Jerry for all your work with your presentations. And I also want to thank all our AV individuals, John from our IT department, and everyone's favorite, Tara from our administration office for. It definitely takes a team to pull these things off. So thank you for all your help. Thank you for your work today. And again, it's 7:10, so we're pretty good. So thank you for coming tonight. And please, happy Thanksgiving to you and your families. Thank you.